I really want to start taking long walks.
Really sorry. I didn't mean to leave for a month, but I was just kind of enjoying my summer vacation. Anyways, I just kind of want to talk about this. This is the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time official player's guide. I got this back as a kid, and by I got this, I mean my neighborhood friend who let me have it, which was nice of him. This is a cool little thing. I'm gonna put this, it's hard to talk with this thing in my hand. There's nothing in here. But yeah, so this book right here is a player's guide, and I'll get more into that in a bit, but what a wonderful, cool thing it is. This is my childhood copy, like I said, and it's mostly intact. It's kind of beat up, but overall, not bad. The only thing that's really missing is the very last page. The back cover, though, that's kind of fun. It's got an ad for Nintendo Power, which was the people who published this, and they were Nintendo's official magazine back in the day. And since I was a kid, I wanted that. This little keychain of Link. But I liked the magazine, so I kind of kept it until the publication ended in 2012. That's something I could talk about some other day. The keychain did not last until 2012. It was rubber and wire, and in the hands of a young child who treated it like just a toy, not a collector's item. So, it's dust now. But, c'est la vie, or whatever they say when they're in somewhere, someplace. I don't know. What am I talking about? A Player's Guide is a book that contains all the information someone would need about a video game. Statistics, maps, answers, it's all there. It's a tool that the player can refer to if they get stuck along the way. Some are official, some aren't, and some are better than others. Player's Guides aren't the only option for someone that needs that comprehensive information, though. We also have the existence of the walkthrough. I'll explain the differences in a moment, but first I want to cover why someone would resort to something like this to begin with. Inherently, it would seem that looking up the answers would take away the fun of the game, And I suppose to an extent that's true. I feel like the force in a video game, that constant momentum, is from all the personal little achievements the player makes along the way. Having to look up the answers does take the wind out of the sails a little bit. But patience can also wane. I only have so much free time in my life. Sometimes if there might just come a breaking point, and I can't answer for everyone, but personally speaking, I'll resort to looking up to a guide when I've been stuck significantly longer than I feel is warranted. And I used to be more stubborn in this regard, but I've gotten a bit more lax over time. Always make that honest, earnest attempt to figure out the game. In some games, I never look up a guide at all, like puzzle games, because then, I'm not doing anything. But if I've taken an hour on something that should take 10 minutes at most, it's probably time to pull an answer up. Regardless, if someone feels the need to look up a player's guide or walkthrough, there's a couple of outcomes that can happen. The first outcome is a player reads the solution and goes, oh, I missed it. They realized they were missing something obvious.
I can see how I missed that. I get it now. It's on me.
The second outcome, the player is taken aback because the solution is so obtuse that they're irritated and annoyed because they would never get that. No one would get that.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I just don't fucking get it. I don't get it. Oh.
The third outcome is similar to the second one, where it's no one would have ever gotten that. But the idea behind the solution is so cool that it kind of cancels itself out. Where yeah, I was never going to solve that issue, but wow, what a fun solution that is. It's a shame I wasn't clever enough to get it. I would have recorded something for this with my friends, but it was getting late and I wanted to go sleep. I I should stop banging this thing around. It's held together with tape. Player's guide and a walkthrough. What's the difference? A walkthrough is usually a text-based document uploaded onto the internet and are primarily written by fans. In a way, I guess that makes it a fan work. And walkthroughs are free and easily accessible. They're made because someone had a desire to get the information out there in case anyone needed it. Also, since they're not legally sanctioned pieces of work, the author of the walkthrough can put as much of the personality into it when it comes to the writing. They don't have to. Typically, walkthroughs are pretty dry reads, but it's not too uncommon to see a bit of snark in there from time to time. And some tasty ASCII art. That can't be how you say it, ASCII. Always fun to see how they render the title of the game. Some of my favorites are the ones that start to be spoiler-free guides, which I want more of them to be like that. Typically, I just want to know the solution, but I don't want to know what happens after I solve the whatever, you know? Special shout-outs to this Hotel Dusk guide, because as much as I loved that game, it has several puzzles that were just a bit too obtuse, and also shouting out this La Mulana 2 hint guide, which basically facilitates the same purpose. I've been playing that game recently and I keep getting stuck because that's just the kind of game it is. Sometimes people refer to games like that as guide games, a game that is so obtuse and arbitrary that in order for someone to enjoy it, they need a guide on hand. A label usually tossed onto old dusty games from 50 years ago before they really figured out how to make video games, but I'm getting off topic here. So what's the difference between a walkthrough and one of these things? Well, first of all, obviously this is physical. The writing also tends to be a little bit more formal compared to an internet walkthrough, and they're also usually filled with artwork and try to mimic the visual design of the video game. Walkthroughs are primarily text-based affairs after all, so a player's guide gets to be kind of like an art book. The Ocarina of Time player's guide is chock full of these illustrations and renders, and it's really cool to see the item renders because in-game they look like this, so you know. I guess if I was to quickly summarize the difference between the two, a walkthrough might be more utilitarian compared to this. Like if a walkthrough opened up with a foreword from Shigeru Miyamoto, that might be a little bit odd and unnecessary, but this does open with a foreword from Shigeru Miyamoto, the man behind Mario and Zelda, obviously. Or maybe not, obviously. I shouldn't assume you know everything. Either way, this opens up with a wonderful foreword from one of the people behind this game, and I'm going to read it to you. I wish I had someone else to read it to you, but I'm going to read it to you. I'll do my best. A message from the master. Hi, I'm Shigeru Miyamoto. Thank you for playing so many of our fun and challenging games. We tried to write this guide to give you the strategy you need to complete your adventure, but we also wanted you to discover much of the game on your own. A great deal of thought and care went into creating this game so that players could find more than just challenges, but also a lot of fun. This is the best how-to guide for those of you who are looking for some strategies to complete your adventure. With this book, you'll discover the secrets of every nook and cranny of the land of Hyrule as if you were one of the Hylians. Also, we hope the level of fun and challenge you experience in the game exceeds your expectations. If you get tired in the middle of your journey, you can play the Ocarina whenever you want. Try out its very cool options such as the half-tone or whole-tone shift vibratos. Please see the fold-out poster for more details on making your own melodies. Good luck. Shigeru Miyamoto, October 10th, 1998. Wasn't that wonderful? Wasn't that cool? That's probably the first time I ever heard of the man, honestly. So let's turn the pages and see what we can... Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, the whole VHS thing right now, that might make this kind of hard to see. One moment, give me a second here. Yeah, so I'm not using like a VHS effect or anything on my videos, it's actual tape. I make a video on that, put it onto a DVD, then put that DVD onto this, and then record the video off of this, back onto this, and then do a few more edits. I think it looks neat. It might be more work than is necessary, but I like it. I've been playing around with it, and one interesting thing is that different tapes give different effects. Some tapes are more wobbly, some are a bit more frustrating, and some are more staticky. It's been kind of cool. So that's this little detour. I didn't make a way of segueing back into that. I'm gonna look at the book. I played around with this a few ways, but I think the best way to do it, honestly, is gonna be just to kind of look through the book and just comment on what I see. I'm not gonna go through every single page here. Just kind of want to go through like a few things that like stand out into my mind. So right off the bat, we have this part that like kind of catalogs all the games. And at this point, there's only 5, so that's not that many. But it still like omits like a big page for like Link's Awakening, which is bonkers to me. We're like 5 games in, you're already like omitting games. Much of Hylian lore was faded with the passing of years, but one story that still shines bright is The Legend of Zelda. Yeah, but it says, One odd thing about the legend is that it doesn't seem to have been written in chronological order, and scholars still disagree about which events came first. That's funny to me, because that'll go on for a while. We've translated the ancient Hylian text and adapted Link's techniques for use with our modern weapons. This abomination's a weapon, alright. Oh shoot, hey. I know I've been talking about how this guide writes in like a story kind of thing, but this might be the one place it drops it. And I'm saying that having not have fully read everything here. Yeah, it's just kind of telling basic instructions, which I guess is fair if it's like, if there was one place where they were going to drop the act, how to control the controller, how to use the controls, that might be the place to do it. Love this artwork. Love that shading. That's cool. Here's like one of my favorite parts. You turn the page and you get this. Okay, it's pretty beat up. Hang on. Okay, no, it's just beat up. It's supposed to fold. Oh my god. It's supposed to fold here. Oh wow. So you have the map, but then it opens up to be another map. Okay, so you have like this more detailed map, whatever, that's fine. On the this side, you have a spot for writing down melodies and songs. There's a big stain here. And that's cool. The Scarecrow song is like for there's a scarecrow that pops up that Link can you can make your own song pretty much. And when you play that in certain areas, a scarecrow will pop up. It's kind of a fun little thing. It's used for puzzles. And I didn't have any song I wrote down, but so when I played this game again with its remake in 2012, I think, I did make a melody for it. I did make a song that I played every time, and I wrote it down in my 3DS notes. Bada boom, look at that. That's it. That's like the song. I've heard Lucas's song? That's fine. That's my Scarecrow song, and that song is the melody that I used for the first Niche Appreciation Club song, this one. I'm gonna knock down the resale value of this book and write down my Scarecrow song. And no one can stop me because it's my book. But that's not even the crazy part. The crazy part is the other side. Is that ink dry? I'm scared. This is wild. So it gives you all of this. That's cool. Bonkers even. But then they composed the Kakariko Village, I don't know how you say it, theme. This is cool. This is so bonkers, but this is cool, and this is nice artwork, but that's awesome. I've never played it because I'm dumb. It also has these little bits, because this book goes in chronological order, but you do come back here at some points, and it has these little blurbs, a link to the future. Wait a second. Does it say a link to the past when you go, whatever. This page, I'm gonna tape this page up right now. I don't know. I know the tape probably doesn't look the best. I realize that, but here's the thing. This is mine. And better to be taped up and beaten than missing more pages, right? I don't know, it kind of gives it a DIY charm. Malon, the spirited daughter of Talon, Hyrule's laziest ranger. Malon immediately took a liking to young Link once he helped her find absent father. It feels like it's missing a word. Once he helped her find absent father, whatever. Link had a friend for life. That's wholesome. That's cute. And like we have like these exterior shots of like, I never realized this, but like this has to be like an in-game shot, but there's like nothing in the game that would let you take a camera angle like this. So maybe they had some kind of device or tool that let them get like a zoom out shot, or I'm guessing maybe they just got images straight from Nintendo for that. Let me go back actually and see. Yeah, that is literally just the field. It's not like an illustration of the field like these are. That's wild. I never realized that. Love this guy. What a character that man is. See, here's an interesting thing right here. Similar to chickens in other parts of the world, the Hyrulean cuckoo was known for its beautiful white feathers and its independent spirit. Cuckoos could fly for a limited distance, but they still managed to escape pens and reach and blah. See, here's the thing. I feel like this was written before like Zelda really had like its lore and attitude figured out. And like, so hearing the word similar to chickens is weird. I know they are. I know objectively this is a chicken, right? But I feel like these days it'd be weird for Zelda in universe to compare it to a chicken. I feel like they would say it's a... They just wouldn't say that. They would say it's a... Here's another part I can fix up. They would just say it's a cuckoo. Man, can I fix this thing up? What happened to this book? I promise, when I get things now, I take better care of them, and I have things from back then that are in better shape, but it's in decent enough shape. I mean, consider this, right? Like, this was a book, it would get tossed around, go into friends' houses and whatever. It's still in fairly decent shape. It's still wild to me that the Great Fairies are like in this game with that design. That is so wild. Look at these frogs. Love these guys. The fabulous frog chorus. Wandering minstrels once roamed the riverbanks playing songs, and the frogs in Zora's River grew fond of the music. Eventually they learned to sing and croak along to the tunes, and when anyone would play a song on the stump near their home, they would reward the musician. There he is, the Scarecrow. Link had never heard of a high-stepping scarecrow, but two now stood before him. They asked Link to play a melody of his own design and promised to remember it for the next time they met. That's a cool render. That's really cool. I think it's cool. Maybe objectively it's ugly, but I like it. I should keep this around for the next time I do this dungeon, because I always get so confused here. You go inside a fish, and I never know where I'm going. Everything looks the same. Look at that. There's another big tear. Jeez. I am honestly shocked that I am not missing more pages of this book. I guess I'm really just grateful that I have the book and that it is it's like ripped from the seam on the inside. I don't like that. Native to the desert wasteland, the lever was a malicious cactus with a taste not for water but for blood. These prickly plants may have moved slowly, but its sting was fatal. I hate those things that freak me out. Wait, you know what else freaks me out? Hang on. Not you. Not chicken. Sorry, cuckoo. Oh, these things! God dang, these things! These big, like, I don't know. They're like these big spinning blade things. And as a kid, terrified me, scared me so bad. I had nightmares that they were flying outside the window, and my dad was like, "Son, they're not. You gotta stop playing this game." Fish lady, I get it. Look at that illustration. That is so... It's made for this one specific... This is the only moment in the game where there's red ice. That's cool. I don't know who made that. That's beautiful. Is that a Ren and Stimpy reference? What the fuck? So here's like a guide for like this trade quest that happens in the game. Like, you give this to this person, this to this person, this to this person, and it's a whole thing. Like the render for the odd potion, it looks so weird. Good looking mushroom. A sloth of a man. What do you mean he's just chilling on the river eating beans? What's wrong with that? You don't know. This man might have a 9 to 5. You don't know. There's a cow in the valley. I guess it likes it there. This is funny to me. Any in-game thing in any video game that mimics a real-world thing, that's a 10 out of 10. Love it when that happens. This is actually super useful. It's a shame that this is like the page I'm missing, because like these little buggers are everywhere in the game, and like you find them to get things. That's what this is about. But it can be hard to keep track, so this is clearly it was of use. I used this. Why I marked it off here and not here? I ain't got time. But yeah, and then after this, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna just have to use like a basic JPEG here, but these are the pages I'm missing. I'm missing one page, but you know, a page has two sides, so I'm missing 2 pages. Now that I'm looking at this closer, I don't think these are like raw. I don't think like the menu thing are like raw assets from the game, but maybe they could be. That's interesting. But they're probably just fan-made. See, my cover has all these tape on the sides. I know. Don't look. Don't. Oh wait, yeah. Does it say A Link to the Past? Hang on. Dude, this is a cool illustration too. Do all the bosses have like illustrations? They do. Duh. But still, and these painted like environments. That's. I'm sorry. I'm a geek. What can I say? Look at these boots. They're so shiny. I don't see A Link to the Past anywhere. So maybe they don't. Maybe that is too obvious. No, A Look to the Past. Does it say A Look to the Past, or does it say A Link to the Past? A Link to the Future here, A Look to the Past here, because I guess they thought saying A Link to the Past, for context, that's the name of like the game before this. 2 games before. I guess I thought that'd be a bit on the nose. Bombflower. Sorry, he's cute. He's cute. Looks like Raggedy Ann. That's pretty. Water from like this era are things trying to look like water. Very pretty. Even in game, very pretty. Most important island item. This tells you everything. I already have this. Wouldn't this tell me everything? So, anyways, that's the player's guide.
Well, that was fun, reading that alongside with you. I got a little off the rails occasionally, but I hope I demonstrated the point about how, like, this guide is written, and I really like that because, you know, I actually think Ocarina of Time is actually kind of a somber game a lot of the time. It's fun and it's adventure, but there's, like, a lot of somber little moments throughout the whole thing. Like, if you wouldn't mind, let me read you one more passage. It's in regards to, like, one of my favorite scenes in the game, or even the whole series actually. It's when Link, the protagonist, is leaving the forest and he's saying goodbye to like his best friend, and she gives him something. Saria's gift, the fairy Ocarina, was blessed with perfect tone if played by someone of pure heart. If a special song was performed with the Ocarina, it would have wondrous results. Link treasured the Ocarina not only for its magical powers, but also because it would always remind him of his friend. That's why I prefer the fairy Ocarina to the titular Ocarina of Time. It's just a bit more sentimental, and I think that gives it like a little bit more weight. And Ocarina of Time is filled with all these little moments. I don't think it's like the darkest or saddest Zelda game, but like it might be the most somber. My friend Sasha said in regards to the game, it is somber, but it's also so optimistic and adventurous, and I like something that gives you a bit of every feeling. And I agree with that. And I like that the game gives me all those feelings, and that this book, while being a helpful resource, also tries to stay in character. It's not trying to pull the suspension of disbelief too far. Ultimately, it makes this book feel less like a tool and more like a companion piece, something to take along on the adventure. And I like that it went for that direction. I really appreciate even that it went for that direction, because it could have been so easy to be so clinical and dry about it, but this book decided that it wanted to stay somewhat in tone with the game, not just from the looks, but from the writing, and that is fantastic.